I will call the Adams County Cultural Council allocation meeting to order. Melvin, would you call the roll, please?
I will. When you hear your name, please say here or present.
Okay.
Christina Monson. Ed Hansen.
Here.
Emily Burr.
Here.
Erica Hernandez. Jeff Lappin. Jesse Martinez.
Here.
Joyce Downing.
Here.
Megan Hartland.
Here.
That concludes roll call.
Thank you, Melvin. Next on the agenda is a motion to approve the agenda. Could I have an emotion, please?
I so move to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the agenda is approved. Next, we need a motion to approve the minutes from March 10th, 2022. Has everyone had a chance to review them? And are there any changes or comments? Hearing none, could I have a motion to approve the March 10th minutes?
I move to approve the March 10 minutes.
I second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Right, they are approved. Next, we have release of funds. Zoe, we have 3 organizations, I think that, or maybe 2 organizations that are requesting release of funds.
2 organizations, 3 projects. First up, we have Northland Arts and Humanities Foundation from the 2018 grant cycle for Art on Parade. The award was $20,205. They received 75% in October of 2017, and they're requesting the release of the remaining $5,051.25. And if you'd like, I can share, it was part of the packet, but I can screen share some of the documentation or the imagery if you like.
Yeah, so is there any, would you like to see any more documentation, or is there any comments? Either way, however you would like to move forward with it. Nothing either way? No? Okay, so let's move to the next project then.
The next project, Northland Arts and Humanities Foundation from the 2020 grant cycle for the Parsons Theater lobby installation. The award was for $100,000. They received 75% in 2019 and are requesting the release of the remaining $25,000. And all the supplemental documentation was sent along for the finished pieces.
All right, any comments? Okay, hearing none, let's move to the Commerce City.
The Commerce City request from the 2019 grant cycle. The project award was $14,323, and they received 75% and are requesting the release of $3,580.75 for Path to Vitality.
All righty. Any comments or questions? All right, I don't hear any, so I would ask for a motion to approve the release of funds for the 2 projects for Northland Arts and Humanities Foundation and also Commerce City's project.
I so move.
Okay, is there a second?
Seconded.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, congratulations. Next on the agenda is the GOS eligibility for Kim Robart's dance. During the grant review process this year, a question arose about the timing of Kim Robart's relocation of their studio and their primary office to Denver County. Zoe reached out to the organization and they returned the information to her, confirming that they will be transitioning the end of this year in the fall, probably even starting now, to move to Denver. They will also be fully transitioned to Denver County as their primary location and will not be a Adams County organization any longer in 22-23 season. So since the grant for GOS is for the 2022-23 season, and they're not going to be an organization that has their home in Adams County, I don't believe that they are eligible for GOS per our guidelines. So I'm just going to kind of open that up, and anybody else has any questions or anything, but they did confirm it in the email that they would be fully transitioned at the end of this year, at the beginning of next year.
I'll comment that I agree with that perspective, that per our guidelines, they're not a Adams County organization as of the time period that we're looking to fund.
Thanks, Megan. Okay, with that, I just want to say that I'm really sorry that Kim Robarts was not able to find a location in Adams County. We're going to miss them, and maybe they're going to relocate back. We don't know, but look forward to funding them, and look forward to the projects they're going to bring to Adams County in the future. So with that, we'll move on the agenda. Megan, are you ready?
I am ready, and I'll just say, my microphone has been funky sometimes. Can you all hear me pretty well?
Yes,
Very well.
thank you.
Okay, good. Well, then let me share my screen and show the spreadsheet. So I'm going to drive around in this spreadsheet a little bit that Zoe put together. So what I'm going to talk through is a funding plan for allocating all of our funds based on the ratings that we all did for the proposals that came in. So talking through this, the spreadsheet goes into great detail. I'll do a little bit of looking at kind of the big picture. So if you want to digest it by combing through it later on, you can go through. So looking at our overall funds available, it's about $2,200,000. And so allocating that out, I'll walk through how that goes out to small projects, large projects, GOS, and visual arts. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay. So the spreadsheet down at the tabs at the bottom has an overall proposed funding plan as well as project ratings. And my mouse is going a little wild. So sorry about that.
That's always the way, that's going to happen.
The minute that you're presenting is the time that it does the funky thing.
Absolutely.
And let me stop sharing for just a second while I get my mouse working. One moment. All right, I'm ditching the trackpad and going for a real mouse. So back in spreadsheet land.
Megan, I'm happy to share my screen
Yeah.
if you want to just talk to that.
The file that came over came through with like 3 versions of the spreadsheet embedded in one file, which was a little weird.
You know, that's interesting because every time I open the file, it opens it 3 times.
Yeah, that's what it was doing for me too. So now I'm in the 3rd, and that looks like it's working. Okay.
I don't know why I did that.
All right. So thank you all for bearing with that technology glitch. So taking a look first at like just a general comment on our overall ratings, you can take a look at the average scores. So those are all of our council ratings put together to averages. This is the information that will feed the funding plan for small projects and large projects. So taking a look at overall small program funding. In general, there were superior programs, excellent, and good. So none that fell below a rating of good. And you can see that the good breakdown is an average score of 40 to 45, an excellent rating is 46 to 49, and superior is 50 plus. So that's the average of our rubric ratings. And we had several small projects fall in that superior rating, about 7 projects where they scored 50 plus. So these projects right here in the green are those superior projects. And one recommendation is funding those small projects, again, under $10,000 at 100%. So those highest rated projects getting 100% funding at the small project level. And then excellent projects, there were many excellent projects. So these are in the purple, and the proposal is to fund these at 90%. Some small projects were rated as good, so an average rating of 40 to 45, and proposed funding those at 80%. So you can see that the math is laid out for what each organization requested and what they would get. So for example, Stories on Stage requested $6,000. They were rated as good. And so at 80% funding, they would receive $4,800. So that leaves our total for funding for small projects at about $164,000. I'll pause for questions with small projects and then move on to large projects.
Okay, sorry about that. I was just still listening to you. Are there any questions for Megan? I don't think so. Go ahead.
All
Megan.
right, let's look at large programs. So again, we had a distinguishing breakdown of $10,000. So large programs are more than $10,000. A very similar breakdown of superior, excellent, great, and good programs. So good programs were rated at 35 to 39 average. Great were 40 to 45. Excellent were 46 to 49, and superior 50. So I think one takeaway is that there is a greater spread in our rating of large projects. So the funding allocation for this is a little different. So looking at superior programs, there's quite a number of superior programs in the large project category. And so funding those at 92%. Programs in the excellent category funding at 81%. Great programs funding at 71%. And good programs, both from the Brighton Cultural Arts Commission funding at 60%. So one takeaway that you might notice is that a good small project is funded at a higher rate than a good large project, and that's true for every rating. Partly because financially it is a lot more feasible to give higher rates of funding to smaller projects within the scope of the budget that we have. And I'll say, yeah, so I'll pause for comments for large projects.
Just one quick comment that the distinction is actually the total budget and not the request. So you may see that there are some projects coming in at $10,000 in this category. And we actually bumped the number up to 20,000. So budgets under 20K qualify as small projects, over are large.
Thank you, Zoe.
That's really
Any other
helpful.
comments for Megan?
Yeah, thanks, Joyce. Thanks for adding that clarifier, Zoe. And it's interesting, we had a number of projects come through that the group, I think in a general consensus came to well, this seemed like a lot of projects packed into one proposal. And so by this standard that we're looking at here, there may be some incentive for organizations to consider breaking out some of those projects in a different way, which may be helpful for organizations to hear from us.
Thank you. That's a great comment. Anyone else? Okay, Megan.
All right, so clicking through to then visual art funding. So visual arts projects received ratings that came into 3 categories: good at 40 to 45, excellent at 46 to 49, and superior to 50. And funding those levels: good at 70%, excellent at 80%, and superior at 90%. And you can see the breakdown of those 4 projects there: 1 good, 1 superior, or sorry, 2 excellent, 1 good, 1 superior. And the total for this category coming up to $322,484.10.
Okay. Questions? All right, hearing none. All right, Megan.
And then I'll move into GOS funding. So as a reminder, at this point, we don't score GOS requests. That's a move that we're looking to set up so that we can score next year's requests. So GOS requests that came in, as we discussed, there are 2 organizations that are ineligible, but otherwise it was a percentage based on the amount raised by this organization. These organizations calculated out the recommended funding at 20% based on amount raised. And then each organization adds up to about $252,984.
Okay. Questions? All right. I don't hear any, Megan, so you want to continue on?
That is about the overall view. One thing we can look at is the proposed funding plan overall.
Mhm.
So this disbursement of all of our funds for the year. So taking a look at, and Zoe doing a lot of math was able to disperse all our funds. Hence why in the large project category, there's some like 92, 81%, so that the math works out so that we're not holding on to money, so that we're giving as much money to organizations as possible, resulting in a carryover of $16.21. So that was some amazing math wrangling.
That is amazing. I cannot believe it. And all the organizations were funded. So that's wonderful also. And just for me, I just want to have a disclaimer that I did not rate any of the North Glen projects. So.
Good recusing.
Yes.
Zoe, the one comment I'll make, and I didn't notice this with the spreadsheet until today, and it was probably, I think, in the SCFD template, is that in the first tab in the final SCFD funding, this box, it says available for 2021 distribution. And I think it was probably not updated when it came over.
Thank you. I actually noticed that when you zoomed in. I was like, oh, thank you. I'll make that
I
change.
noticed it then too. I was like, oh.
I know. So are there any questions?
That's my bad.
Pardon?
That's my bad. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I'm sure pretty sure I sent it that way to Zoe. So Zoe, if you want to correct her, I can correct and resend it, but it's probably easier
No,
for you
I
just
can
to.
correct it. This might have been me anyway because of the way that I do the spreadsheet, because I sort of pull everything over. But yeah, would not be a big deal
Okay. So is anyone have any comments or questions about the allocations? Nothing?
I think it was pretty good. Nobody
Yeah.
got left out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we had an awesome amount of money, which was great, you know, and it seems like we'll probably even have more next year, huh, Dana? The way things are going, yeah. All right.
So yeah, I think, Emily, to your point, that our advice to organizations to stop to when they can pick apart projects, I think could be advantageous to them when seeking funding.
Mhm. Absolutely. I really appreciate you doing this, Megan and Zoe. I mean, I know.
Yeah,
I do
kudos to
appreciate it.
Zoe for putting this all together and making the math work out. That's amazing.
Yay, you guys, you did great.
Thank you,
Okay.
guys. I will say this is years prior of a lot of dedicated work. So thank you to all of the shoulders of giants that we stand upon.
All right, so do we need to have a vote on this, or does that go to the next meeting?
No, actually, a vote tonight would be preferred. We want to bring this to the study session to the Board of County Commissioners, and we're a little ways out, but as soon as we can get this approval, we will move forward with that for
Okay,
what sounds like a July 12th study session.
Can I move that we approve this funding allocation?
okay,
I
I'll
said,
second it. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, there you go, Zoe. Congratulations, everybody.
Great
All
job.
right. Yeah. Next we have Dana. Do you have an update for us?
Sort of. I have some updates. I can't open my official letter, so I'm just gonna talk about, well, I'll speak to what I can remember off the top of my head, which is at the last board meeting, Douglas County, there was a new Douglas County SCFD board member sworn in. His name is Dan Brown. The next board meeting will be next week on, pulling it up, on May the 26th at 1 p.m. This meeting will happen at Denver Botanic Gardens in their brand new center. At that meeting, the Tier 1 organizations will do brief presentations, and the board will vote on their certification for 2022. If anyone can make it, the meetings are always amazing to hear the Tier 1s, because they're more of a regional look at the Denver Metro. So they're always great meetings. And then I need a drum roll. Jesse, can you do a beatbox for me? I have great news. Let me pull up the email real quick. This is it's
I wish,
fantastic news.
Dana.
Let me find it. Okay, so since the last time we met, we received the March 2022 SCFD sales and use tax revenue. It was $405,73. We have not done over 7 million, with the exception of December 2021. So this is unprecedented for SCFD to raise 7 million in March. Unbelievable. So so right now we're at a variance of 16 million year to date this year over last year, which is no, I'm sorry, the variance is 2.6 million more that we have at the same time this year over last year, which is a 16.22 increase year to date 2022 over year to date 2021. So this speaks well of the state of SCFD. You know, we still have, that was November, or sorry, not November, that was March. So we still have 9 months to go, but I think that's, you know, that was, I mean, hopefully people are spending money and we'll have even more next year, but this is great. It's fantastic.
That is amazing, really, considering the things that are going on right now.
Really
you know.
coming out of COVID. Yeah, so I guess people are starting to buy that toilet paper again, right? And then everything else is pretty much the same. Nothing's really changed outside of those new updates.
Dana, what time is that May 26th meeting?
Oh, I apologize. It's at 1 p.m.
1 p.m.?
Yes, at Denver Botanic Gardens, which is their 8th and York location.
Okay, I'll
And
try.
it's in the new center. I want to call it the Stern Auditorium or the Stern Building, but it's it's on the south or the northeast part of the Botanic Gardens.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank
if you can make it, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'll try. I will try.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Anything else for the good of the order?
Not for me. Thank you.
All righty then. So Zoe, Adams County update?
Just a few. We have the county's first Pride Festival is June 18th, so that's coming up. It'll be at Riverdale Regional Park Saturday. It'll be free family stuff like all day, and then Todrick Hall and Vincent are performing that night. So tickets are on sale for that. We're really excited. We've got my dogs are excited too.
Yeah.
The search for the county manager is still happening, but it sounds like they're sort of wrapping up, and they've got a lot of great candidates, and looking at placing someone next month, it sounds like. So that's exciting. That'll be a big direction for the county. And then just a note about our next meeting, which is June 23rd in person at Riverdale Regional Park in the admin building. That will be the debrief as well as the rubrics conversation. So I'm encouraging all council members to give it some thought after going through this process and come with some ideas, some things to put on the table as offerings for direction. So we'll be in touch with information on that, but looking forward to seeing you all in person. And that's it. That's it for me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Zoe. So is there any comments from the board or the council right now? Anything at all that you want to share before we move on the agenda? Nothing? All right. Okay. So next up we have, is there any public, I don't know if we have any public here, but is there any public comments? None, and we've already addressed our next meeting. So with that, I just want to thank each and every one of you for all your hard work, through this granting cycle. There's a lot to this, more than people expect, I think, or when they sign up for this board. So thank you again, and thanks to all the organizations that applied. We're really excited about all of the allocation and everything that's going on. So it's going to be a great year coming up, I believe. And I will see you June 23rd. All right. We are adjourned. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a
Well.
good one.
Be well.